Hello, and welcome back to the Successful CEO podcast. One of the topics I'm going to dive into today is definitely one of my favorite things to talk about. And I would say, hands down, it was for this topic has been the biggest catalyst. And also just that one thing that if I didn't harness it or if I didn't listen, I would not be where I am today. Like I can say that hands down. And if someone asked me, what was that one thing in business that led you to leaving your teaching job and growing your product company and growing your coaching business and impacting people all over the globe? It would be my intuition. My intuition has been the thing that has led me down this path, and I can't deny it. I can't say it was anything else. Of course, along the way of being an entrepreneur, there were so many other factors involved in the growth, but this was the catalyst. This was the thing that opened the doorways to choosing a whole new life, to going down a whole new route from being a kindergarten teacher to then making product aftercare for businesses all over the world, beauty businesses. Wouldn't have done it without my intuition. So I want to dive into this today because I am big on strategy and energetics and mindset, but there's so much magic to be found in following our own soul and our own voice and really listening to our own inner compass, our own inner guidance system. And so I want to bring you back to when I first started my business. And I tell this story quite often. I actually just told it at a speaking event I was at on Saturday. And I like to bring people back to the beginning where it truly was this intuitive voice that came through saying, make lip balms. And it was undeniable. It was clear. It was very distinct. And I remember the human in me was like, make lip balms. Why is this message coming through? And at the time, I was kind of thinking about ideas of how I could bring fruit into my kindergarten class. When I went back to teaching, I was on mat leave at the time with my second baby, Jackson. And I was like, these kids, they don't have a healthy food option. What can I do for them? I give them my banana, I give them my apple, but I wanted something where it'd be easy for them just to grab off of my desk. It'd be like a bowl of fruit. And I was like, well, why don't I make something and sell it? And then I can do this for the kids. So I just heard this voice come through, make lip balms. I was like, what? How do you do this? I've never done this before. Where do I even begin? And this is what happens sometimes. Sometimes our intuition just comes fully blasting in and gives us the message. And then our human self is going, well, that's crazy. That's odd. Why would I do a thing like that? How am I even going to begin? What is going to come of this? And all those things went through my mind where I was wondering, how do you even do this? I don't know how to make lip balms. What about the labels? So many human fears and just not knowing. But that voice led me down the most unimaginable path. And I continued to listen to this voice over and over and over again, especially when it comes to big decisions. When we were talking about my husband leaving his full-time job, that wasn't rational. That was crazy talk. Full-time position with benefits, pension, working for the government. Why would he leave his job? And with our intuition, sometimes it is a voice, which is the clairaudience, where you can hear a voice, which for me, it feels like this voice of my highest self. For me, it's not necessarily this voice from my spirit team. It's like a voice from myself, but from this higher dimension. And so with my husband leaving his job, it was just this knowing. And it was this, which is your claircognizance, but it was also this vision of the clairvoyance where I could see the vision. And even with my growing my business, going from making lip balms and bath bombs in my kitchen and then into my basement, it was like I had this vision, which is your psychic abilities to see what's going to come. And I held that vision of seeing my business go so big that I leave teaching. I saw the vision of it being in a production space and having my own office space and leading other leaders all over the globe. And that happened. My intuition knew it was going to happen. My intuition had this gift and ability to see the vision. That's the clairvoyance. And if you're able to see in your mind's eye, then you have the gift of clairvoyance. It can't be denied. And I think so many people, they're afraid to say, I have this ability. I am intuitive. I am psychic. I interchange the words. They're the same thing to me. And so even being able to see the vision of your dream, you're clairvoyant. You literally can see what's going to unfold. And now you have free will. As human beings, we have free will and we have the ability to create whatever we want. And so even though your clairvoyant gift of seeing is showing you, here you go, this is going to happen, you still have to do your part as a human being. It's not just going to fall in your lap. It's not just going to happen, even though you can see it, even though you have this intuition telling you it's going to happen. You still have free will to change your reality, to shift the future. And so I've heard the voice in both circumstances. Even with my husband, it was like the moment I knew, it was the moment that he was meant to leave his job and come work for us. It was like this knowing, and then just this voice of like, oh my gosh, this is time. This is the time. And then I messaged him at work and I was like, oh my gosh, you need to leave your job, give your notice, come on over. This is the time. So my intuition has served me in those big moments. And the moments where it's like, this is crazy, my intuition has been like, but this is what you're meant to do. So strengthening and really tapping into and owning your intuition, your intuitive voice is going to help you with these massive decisions you need to make in your business. To feel into it, is this the right thing? Is this the wrong thing? Is this something I should invest in? Is this something that I should take the leap on? And even if you take that big leap and you're like, I didn't get what I thought I would, we need to trust ourselves. We need to trust that intuitive voice that led us here. And even if you don't get the exact thing that you thought you were going to get, this is where we get to look back and stand in our power and recognize the journey of who we became, or the lessons we learned and the challenges we had. And if it isn't what you exactly thought was going to happen through making that big leap through intuition, saying, just go do the thing. It's like, well, you're learning something from it. You got something from it. So I believe that even if it wasn't exactly what you thought would happen, your intuition knows the way. Like your intuition has led you down this pathway for a reason. And so we have to trust in the power of our intuition, and we have to trust in the guidance of higher realms and universe and God and spirit, whatever you believe in, that you're always divinely being orchestrated. You're always divinely being guided. Your life is being divinely orchestrated. And so we need to trust and surrender and really believe in the power of our own discernment, our own inner voice, our own inner guidance and compass. So your intuition, when people are like, why on earth, like leaders and coaches, I actually have Intuition Strategy School, which by the way, is $333 right now for my 6-week program. And you're like, okay, I'm a coach. I don't want to do intuitive readings. No, like you don't have to do intuitive readings when it comes to something like my Intuition Strategy School. This is for the leader where, yeah, we do learn about divination tools, but this is to empower yourself. We have a training on divination tools and rituals, but this is about intention. This is about tapping into your personal power. This is about leading from your authenticity and what your soul knows you're meant to do. And so for someone who's a mentor, a healer, a coach, a leader, your intuition is going to be that compass to lead you down the most expansive path. Sometimes it's scary. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. But knowing what your intuitive gifts are, reclaiming and claiming your intuition again, bringing it back into your life. You're born with it. And so many people, they close it off, they shut it off. But this is what's going to help you navigate and see the bigger picture and see the limitless possibilities. Not your ego, not your logical mind. Your intuition is that key to unlock you into your next level. Unlock those codes. So for someone who is a leader and a mentor, a coach, a healer, you don't have to be someone who's like, I want to start doing oracle card readings. It's how can we overcome the fear and bring to the table what's been holding us back and why we've been putting our intuition on the back burner and being afraid to unleash it. Once we start to uncover this, we get to see what's been holding us back all this time. We get to play in this realm of magic and limitless possibilities and being soul-led, spirit-led, intuitively led entrepreneurs. And this is going to put you at this higher vibration, this higher state, this magnification of your aura when you're in this higher love and intuitive and soulful type frequency, which is then when you're in this expansive state is going to magnetize and attract more. Okay, so we're diving into Intuition Strategy School, which I said is 333. Pre-sale final is going to be $797. Or you can do payments as well. So I'm going to drop the link in the bio, but we're going to be going into this strategy school, 6 weeks of pre-recorded. I'm going to have some live calls together too, some hot seat coaching as well, some practice with your intuition throughout the 6 weeks. And we're going to be covering, what holds people back? What are your fears? What are your gifts? Start identifying them. You can bring them into the table with your content, with your marketing, with how you lead yourself behind the scenes, but also how you lead your clients too, and start to activate these gifts. Start to instill some rituals and intentionality into your life every single day, where it's not just about the execution and here's the strategy and let's go, go, go. It's like, let's have a devotional practice to ourselves, to connect to the higher realms, to connect to our highest selves, for that divine, clear guidance and to be that clear vessel. So these are things we're diving into the school. But I'm a big believer in, it's not just about the intuition. So if we're going to lead with intuition, we're going to lead with our soul, we're going to maybe even have some offerings around intuition and spirituality and healing. We need to learn strategy as well as entrepreneurs. So the school also goes into branding and being magnetic online and sales strategies as well. So it's not just about the intuition. It's like, okay, but now what do we do on a tangible level? So that's why I call the Intuition Strategy School, because we're marrying the two in the 6-week program. So link is in the bio. If this sounds juicy to you, if you're ready to unleash your intuition, if you're ready to unleash it to bring in more abundance than ever before and to really lead from heart and soul and to attract more clients in an aligned way, this is for you. Okay, so I'm going to tap in a bit more with our intuition and how it really is this catalyst into our next level. And I said a little bit before about like having that vision, right? The clairvoyance there and using our psychic intuitive powers to hold that vision. Okay, I want to emphasize this part because what can happen along your journey, and has happened to me a million times over the last 8 years of being an entrepreneur, is you are going to have challenges. You're going to have times where you are going to be questioning your sanity. You're going to wonder if you should still be doing this. You're going to wonder if this is really meant for you. You're going to say, why is this so freaking hard? I'm following my intuition. I'm following my soul. I'm doing what I'm meant to do. This stuff lights me up, but why isn't it easy? Or why did this just happen? Or why did I have this like hard day, or this client break their contract, or I thought that like this was going amazing. What happened here? Or losing out on money somehow when you invest in a product and then it's faulty. Like this has happened to me. All of these things have happened to me. And so having this gift of intuition, of this knowing of this is still working for me. I see the vision. I hold the vision. I have this clairvoyance of where I can see it literally playing in my mind's eye. Okay. This gift of seeing. You can hold yourself to that vision and that standard and that knowing of it's happening for me, it's going to work, it's happening no matter what. This is inevitably mine because I see it. I know it. My soul, my intuition is telling me, and I trust. And when we trust and we totally surrender, and we are in this vibration of knowing and certainty, that is when you become the match for the thing that you want. And your intuition is holding you to that standard because it's showing you the vision right there, is giving you the feelings and the sensations of the knowing. And maybe you hear it in your head every single day, the whispers from your soul saying, I know this is going to be mine. I know this is going to happen. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I know it's going to happen. And that's all that matters in the end, because we don't know always how the how is going to happen. We don't know when it's going to happen. It's like, we just know it's going to happen. And that's when we surrender and we allow universe to do some of the heavy lifting, because we're doing our part here, right? And now universe gets to open the portals for us and do that heavy, magical, unexplainable lifting for us. And then we go, that is how this turned out. I never would have imagined in a million years that this is what would happen. Literally the story of my life. The last thing I want to touch on when it comes to your intuition, the power of your intuition to taking your business to this next level, is not only those big decisions you have to make with decisions with leaving a job that you're in to continue to grow your business, or the next coach you want to invest in. I mean, most of the time when I'm investing in my coaches, it's like this intuitive thing. Sometimes to a strategy where I'm like, okay, they're really good at this. I want to get really good at this strategy. I'm going to hire that coach. But it always comes though with intuition, this feeling, this knowing that this is the next big, bold move. Okay. And then our intuition with holding that vision, especially during the challenges and the tribulations. And then the last thing, I'm going to take a sip of water, so thirsty, is our intuition allows us to be a better leader overall. It allows us to stand in our power, in our knowingness. It allows us to use our own inner voice and to stand up strong and lead from this knowingness, lead from our inner authority, our self-sovereignty. And so when you see someone online who's paving the way no matter what, and they're following the vision, they're becoming visionaries and legacy builders, they're following what feels right for them. They're following their heart and soul. They're following that intuitive nudge and that intuitive knowing. They're following the guidance of their highest selves. And that is why it's working. That is why it's happening. Nothing can get in the way of that. So it's allowing you to be a better leader, to see things so clearly. And when you can trust in those words and in the knowing and in what comes through for you, you're showing yourself that you believe in you. You're showing yourself that you trust yourself so much to make this happen. And when you take those steps and you do the investing, or you take a leap from your job, or you retire your partner, it's like you're validating the worthiness, the power, the strength that you have, the skills, the gifts. You're validating that by taking those big leaps and risks and listening to your intuition. Okay, so there's this powerful message around your intuition leading to great leadership and self-worth and confidence and certainty in yourself and your vision. But it also makes you an incredible leader when it comes to leading your clients. You're able to, through your intuitive abilities, so in the school, you're going to tap into this and understand, the different modalities on how you can lead and hold your clients into that next level. But you're also learning, okay, well, what are my gifts and how have I been bringing them to the table? Because you probably have been doing intuitive work with your clients and not really realizing. But it doesn't mean it's like, I'm going to pull an oracle card or let's do a pendulum. No, your intuitive gifts can come through with this feeling. Maybe they're talking about a certain client that might sign on, or maybe there's a new offer coming in. You can have this feeling, this vibration around it, or this knowingness, or maybe you hear a message or see a vision. I bring this in a lot with my clients, the multi-dimensional aspect of coaching, where it's not just, here's the strategies, here's my own story and experiences. It's like, this is what I'm feeling right now. This is what I actually see playing out. Oh, I just heard this for you. And it brings a whole new level of mentorship that not that many bring to the table. So if you're someone who's like, I want to bring more multidimensionality to my leadership, to my coaching, to help my clients, to break through to their next level, that is what we go into an intuition strategy school. And there is going to be this aspect of trust, but also this co-creation together of them leaning into their intuition too. So yeah, you can bring it to the table, but in the end, we want them to feel empowered. We want them to have control over their life. We want them to hold the key to their next success. So we can bring it in to maybe turn some things on for them, to activate something, to maybe light a fire under their butt. You may be doing that with the intuitive messages and knowing that comes through, or it could get them gaining clarity on the direction that they want to go. And so whether or not they're like, oh my God, your message, yes, so right, or their intuition could go, you know what, actually she's saying it doesn't feel right. So now I'm getting the clarity of, I actually want to go this way because she mentioned this thing, but it's like, let's say it's like, you're saying like, I can really feel this group program, blah, blah, blah. And then the client on the other end is like, oh, that feels really icky to me. Well, they're getting their answer then. Is being pulled out of them through your intuitive guidance, and they can go, okay, well, it felt really off. So actually that means, no, not going to do the group program. We're going to do evergreen recording digital course instead, or maybe private coaching. Okay. So your intuition, no matter what, is going to get your client the clarity that they're looking for, but we want to make sure it's in an empowered state, right? Where they get to create the magic, where they hold the magic, not you. You have magic, you have this gift, you're leading them. But in the end, we want them to bring it back to their own inner knowing, their own inner compass, their own personal power to lead the way. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up there. I want you to really reflect listening to this. You have this big vision. You want to be super successful. Maybe you already are. I want you to really tap into, how are you putting your intuition to the side? Are you hiding in the closet with it? Are you sweeping it under the rug that it doesn't matter? How can you start to bring it more to the table? How can you start to tap into it every single day and use your intuition to be one of the guiding forces to expanding your business, especially when you have big decisions to make, big, bold decisions to make? Let's lean into your intuition. And sometimes, again, like I said before, it's going to have this message and this like drop that comes in, this channeled message where you're not going to like when you're a human. That may be scary, that may not make any sense at all. And our intuition likes to do that. So how can we listen to that more and trust the guidance? And then how can we bring our intuition and our magic more into our creations and our offers and our content? And when we come and we lead containers, how can we really open up the portals for that to walk in and for us to walk hand in hand with our intuition, which is a magical, magical, powerful source? And then what can we do to bring it more into the way we support our audience in the DMs, with connecting with other people in our Facebook communities, if you have one, and with our clients? Your intuition is something that can never go unnoticed, is never something that I believe you can ignore and then have the most incredible success. It is that voice, that magic, that once you tap into it, the most crazy, mind-blowing things will happen. You'll have to start expecting the unexpected. Okay, I will see you on the next episode. Make sure to like this episode, download, subscribe, share with your audience if anything really hit you to the core. If something came through, if you had something channeled, an epiphany, come over to my DMs, the Charissa Lynn on Instagram. Let me know all about it. I'd love to hear. And if you want in on Intuition Strategy School, price does jump on Friday. September the 22nd, I believe. Yes, on Friday. And it is going to jump up to 555. So I highly suggest to get in at the 333 mark. I love you. I will see you on the next episode.